realistic timetable of when you could be actually back playing?
I'm hoping sometime within the next 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks. I can't really put a definite timeline on it because at this point I'm just rehabbing and building strength and just kind of letting my body heal. So ideally, I would love to be back in the next 3 to 4 weeks. But I can't guarantee that because it's not one of those things that's just like, oh, my ankle feels better, I can go back and play. You know, it's just not that. As much as I wish it was, it's just not. And so when dealing with a back, the one thing I'm not going to do is rush back out there. You know, and so and if I'm not back in 3 weeks, that also doesn't mean that I'm not able to play in 3 weeks either. You know, I want to return when I'm 100% confident that I'm healthy, when I feel like I'm in great shape, because the reality is I don't want to return not in somewhat of game shape, and then you're laboring, your mechanics and running is wrong, and like all of these things, and then you're compensating, and then I get hurt again. You know, so one thing I can tell you is I know people will read into everything, you know, in 3 weeks it'll be like, oh man, he's still not back. I'm telling you now, that doesn't mean there's a problem. That doesn't mean that there's a setback. I want to return to the floor when my conditioning is at the right level, when I can return, and that's those same things that I was talking about transferring onto the court, when my conditioning allows me to make sure that I'm not falling back into those bad habits.
You mentioned the alarming word surgery, you know, within one of your answers. How big a possibility had that been earlier in the process, and are you to the point where you're very confident that you won't have to get it?
I think the possibility then is the same as it is now. Initially, no one thought I needed surgery. Today, no one thinks I need surgery. In saying that, like I said, you're never clearly out of the woods, you know? So neither one of the doctors that I've seen thinks I'll end in surgery. Rick doesn't think it'll end in surgery. And the way my body is feeling now and the way I'm progressing, I don't think it'll end in surgery. But like I said, when you're dealing with the back, that's always a possibility. So we had to cross that bridge and see if that's what was needed. No one thought it was needed, and my progression has shown that to be true thus far, and I believe it'll continue to stay that way.